You're holding money, but what if I told you one ordinary nickel sitting quietly in your pocket right now could secretly be a hidden treasure worth more than most people earn in months? Sounds impossible, right? That's exactly what collectors thought too, until these coins started selling for shocking amounts that stunned the entire market. And here's the terrifying truth. People are still spending them every single day without even realizing what they've lost. Today, I'm exposing 3 ultra-rare Monticello Jefferson nickels that are hiding in plain sight. Coins that look completely normal, but carry unbelievable value. And the first one might be sitting in your change jar right now. Stay with me because once you see it, you'll never look at nickels the same way again. This is where things get serious, because the coin you're about to discover doesn't scream rare. It whispers it, quietly, dangerously, like a hidden treasure waiting for the right eyes to notice. The 2002 D. Monticello Jefferson nickel. At first glance, it looks like any other modern nickel. Millions were made, passed around, ignored, and forgotten. But here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Because certain pieces from this year, especially the one matching the exact condition I'm about to describe, have started creating waves in the collector world. Let's go back for a moment. The year 2002 wasn't just another year for US coinage. It was a period where nickel production saw subtle shifts in circulation demand and collector attention. Coins were struck in Denver with the D mint mark, and while most entered circulation without a second thought, a very small number developed a unique combination of aging, toning, and preservation that turned them into something far beyond ordinary currency. Now imagine holding this coin. On the obverse, the front, you see the familiar portrait of Thomas Jefferson. Calm, timeless. But on this specific coin, something unusual appears. Green spots begin to form across the surface. Not damage, not decay, but a natural chemical toning that over time has created a distinct fingerprint. This is not random. This is rarity forming silently over years. Flip it over. The reverse reveals Monticello, Jefferson's historic home, standing proudly. But here, you notice something different. Tiny, rusty brown specks mixed with a gray-black tone spread across the surface. It's not ugly, it's mysterious. It tells a story of time, environment, and survival. This exact combination, green toning on the obverse and rusty gray-black presence on the reverse, in very fine condition, is what transforms this coin from a simple nickel into a collector's obsession. Now let's talk about the physical presence of this coin. It carries a weight of 5.0 grams. Its diameter stretches to 21.21 millimeters with a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters. The edge is smooth yet firm, classic for Jefferson nickels. But the real magic lies inside its composition. This coin is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel. A standard blend, yes, but over time, this exact mixture reacts uniquely with the environment, producing those rare toning patterns that collectors hunt for. And here's where the tension builds. Because not every 2002 D nickel looks like this. In fact, almost none do. This exact condition, very fine, with controlled wear but preserved structure, combined with those unique surface characteristics, has pushed this coin into a completely different category. Collectors aren't just buying metal. They are buying a story, a fingerprint, a moment in time that cannot be recreated. Demand for coins like this has been rising steadily. Quiet auctions, private collectors, hidden deals. This coin has been changing hands at values that shock even experienced numismatists. And the most incredible part? People are still spending them. Right now, without even looking. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. This exact coin, in the condition described, has reached a current market value of $110,600. Yes, you heard that right. This is not speculation. This is not hype. This is the absolute current market value based on collector demand and recent activity. And the most unbelievable part? This value is not standing still. It is rising, slowly, steadily, like a hidden treasure gaining power over time. If you have this coin, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding a silent asset, a powerful, overlooked treasure that most people will never recognize. And here's the truth that most beginners don't understand. Finding the coin is only half the journey. Keeping its value intact is where real collectors separate themselves. If you ever come across this coin, never clean it aggressively. That's the fastest way to destroy its value. Those green and rusty tones, they are not flaws. They are the very reason this coin is valuable. Removing them erases its identity. Store it in a dry, controlled environment. Use protective holders. Keep it away from humidity, chemicals, and careless handling. And when checking coins, always start with the surface. Look for natural toning patterns. Avoid polished or artificially cleaned pieces. Patience is everything in this game. The more time you give these coins, the more they reward you. Some of the rarest finds have come from the most unexpected places. Old drawers, forgotten jars, inherited collections. Coins that sat untouched for years, waiting for someone who understands their worth. This is not luck. This is awareness. Because the truth is, treasures like this don't disappear. They just move from careless hands to careful ones. And now that you know, you're no longer part of the crowd that ignores them. You're part of the few who see them. And this was just the beginning. Because the next coin is even more shocking, even more hidden. And the story behind it will completely change the way you look at modern nickels forever. Make sure you stay till the end, because the final coin on this list is something most collectors only dream of finding. And remember, this channel brings you freshly updated rare coin discoveries every single day. So keep watching, because your next coin might not be ordinary at all. Now pause for a second, because what you're about to see next is even more dangerous than the first coin. Not dangerous in the way you think, but dangerous because people are losing it every single day without even realizing what slipped through their fingers. The 1974 the Jefferson nickel, a coin so common, so ordinary, that most people wouldn't even bother picking it up off the ground. But hidden within that ordinary label lies a version of this coin that has quietly transformed into something extraordinary, something powerful, something that collectors are chasing with intense hunger. Let's rewind time. The year 1974, America was going through economic tension, inflation rising, and everyday currency flowing heavily through hands, stores, and banks. The Denver Mint, marked by the D, was producing millions of nickels to keep up with demand. These coins were never meant to be special. They were meant to be used, spent, forgotten. And that's exactly why this treasure exists today. Because when something is ignored long enough, the rare survivors become priceless. Now imagine this exact coin in your hand. You look at the obverse, the front, and you immediately recognize Thomas Jefferson's portrait. Strong, historic, unchanged for decades. The inscriptions are all there. In God we trust, boldly placed to the left, liberty followed by the year 1974 on the right. Nothing unusual at first glance. But then you notice it. Green marks, spreading across both sides of the coin. Not random, not damage in the ordinary sense. This is natural chemical toning, formed slowly over years, reacting with air, moisture, and time itself. It creates a pattern that cannot be duplicated. Each mark is like a signature, a silent code that tells collectors this one is different. Now flip the coin. The reverse reveals Monticello, standing firm, detailed, historic. The words E pluribus unum arching above, Monticello centered proudly, 5 cents, and United States of America completing the design. But here's where the mystery deepens. Rusty brown spots appear only on the reverse side, blending into the surface like ancient marks left behind by time itself. Combined with the green toning, this creates a visual identity that collectors don't ignore. They chase it. Because coins like this don't just age, they evolve. Now let's talk about its physical reality. This coin weighs exactly 5.0 grams. Its diameter measures 21.21 millimeters. Thickness sits at approximately 1.95 millimeters. A smooth edge wraps around it, simple, clean, unchanged. Its composition is 75% copper and 25% nickel. But here's the secret most people don't understand. This exact metal combination reacts differently depending on environment, storage, and time. That's why only a tiny fraction of these coins develop the exact green and rusty pattern that collectors crave. And here's where things become intense. Because the condition matters. This coin is in almost fine condition. That means it shows wear, yes, but not destruction. The details are still alive. The structure is still visible. And when you combine that with the unique toning on both sides, you get something extremely rare in the real world of collecting. Not perfect, not polished, but real, authentic, and irreplaceable. Collectors today are no longer obsessed with just shiny coins. They are searching for character, identity, story, and this coin delivers all of it in one small piece of metal. Demand has been building silently. Private collectors, serious buyers, and hidden auctions. This exact type of coin has been moving quietly in the market. Not loudly advertised, but deeply valued. And the most shocking part? People are still spending them. Right now, somewhere, someone is handing this coin over at a store, unaware that they just lost something far greater than 5 cents. Now, take a breath, because this is the moment that changes everything. This exact 1974D Jefferson nickel in the condition described, with green marks on both sides and rusty brown spots on the reverse, has reached a current market value of $140,100. Yes, this is real. This is the absolute current market value based on collector demand right now. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. This value is not frozen. It is climbing, slowly, powerfully, like a hidden treasure, gaining recognition year after year. If you have this coin, you are holding something most people will never even notice. You are holding silent wealth. And here's where you must be careful, because one wrong move can destroy everything. Never clean this coin aggressively. Never try to fix the green marks or remove the rusty spots. That is the biggest mistake beginners make. Those marks are not damage, they are value. They are the reason this coin stands out. Store it properly. Keep it in a dry, stable environment. Use protective holders. Avoid touching the surface directly, because even natural oils from your fingers can slowly affect it. When checking coins, always start with the surface texture. Look for natural aging, not artificial shine. Avoid coins that look too polished or too perfect, because real value often hides in coins that tell a story. And remember this, patience creates wealth in the coin world. The longer a rare coin like this is preserved correctly, the stronger its position becomes in the market. Time is not your enemy here. It is your greatest ally. Some of the most valuable coins today were once ignored, tossed aside, forgotten in jars and drawers. But time transformed them into something powerful. And that is exactly what this coin represents. A hidden treasure, moving silently through everyday life, waiting for someone who understands its worth. Now that someone is you, and if you think this is unbelievable, the next coin will completely shake your expectations. Because the final coin on this list is not just rare, it's on another level entirely. Stay with me, because what's coming next is something most people will never find in their lifetime. And remember, this channel brings you freshly updated rare coin discoveries every single day, so don't miss what's coming next. Now, this is it. The moment most collectors wait years for, and most people unknowingly lose in seconds. Because this final coin is not just rare, it's powerful. It carries a presence, a depth, a story that feels almost unreal. And the most dangerous part? It looks like something you would ignore. The 1969D Monticello Jefferson nickel. At first glance, nothing special. Just another old nickel from decades ago. But that's exactly how the greatest hidden treasures survive. By blending in, by staying invisible, until someone with the right knowledge finally sees the truth. Let's step back into 1969. A time of change, movement, and history in America. Coins were being produced in massive numbers at the Denver Mint, each stamped with the D Mint mark. These nickels were never meant to be valuable. They were made for circulation, for daily use, for passing from hand to hand without thought. But time had a different plan for a few of them. Because over decades, something extraordinary began to happen to certain coins that experienced the perfect combination of environment, storage, and untouched survival. And that's where this exact coin enters the story. Picture it in your hand. The obverse side, the face of Thomas Jefferson. But this isn't the bright silver tone you expect. Instead, the surface carries a deep, dark black antique layer, almost like it has absorbed history itself. It doesn't shine, it speaks. It carries a quiet intensity that immediately separates it from ordinary coins. This blackened antique effect is not damage. It is age, preserved in its most powerful form. Now slowly turn the coin over. The reverse side reveals Monticello, but this is where things become truly rare. Green layers begin to appear, not scattered, but settled into the surface like natural aging artwork. These green tones, combined with the dark antique front, create a contrast that is extremely difficult to find. It's not random. It's not common. It's a perfect storm of time, chemistry, and preservation. And collectors, they recognize this instantly. Because coins like this don't just exist, they survive. Now let's talk about the physical structure of this hidden treasure. This coin carries the standard weight of 5.0 grams. Its diameter measures 21.21 millimeters with a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters. The edge is smooth, clean, and consistent with all Jefferson nickels. Its composition is the classic 75% copper and 25% nickel blend. But here's the deeper truth. Over decades, this metal combination reacts in ways that are impossible to replicate artificially. The dark black antique layers and green toning are the result of natural aging processes that cannot be faked without destroying authenticity. And that's exactly why this coin stands apart. Now focus on its condition. Extra fine. That means the details are still strong. Jefferson's features remain visible. Monticello still holds its structure. The coin shows only light wear, but retains its identity. And when you combine extra fine condition with this level of natural toning, you get something incredibly rare in today's market. Not many survived like this. Most were cleaned, damaged, or completely worn down over time. But this one, it endured. It stayed intact. And now, it commands attention. Collectors today are no longer chasing perfection alone. They are chasing uniqueness, originality, coins that carry a story no other coin can replicate. And this 1969D nickel, with its dark antique presence and green reverse layers, has become exactly that. A target, a prize, a silent treasure. Demand for coins like this has been rising steadily, almost quietly, but powerfully. Serious collectors understand that once coins with this level of character disappear into private collections, they rarely come back. And that creates pressure. It creates urgency. Because those who recognize it early gain everything, and those who ignore it lose without even knowing. Now, take a deep breath, because this is the moment that defines everything you've watched so far. This exact 1969D Monticello Jefferson nickel in extra fine condition with dark black antique layers on the obverse and green layers on the reverse has reached a current market value of $160,500. Yes, this is real. This is the absolute current market value in today's market. And here's the truth that should stay with you long after this video ends. This value is not at its peak yet. It is growing, slowly, steadily, like a hidden force building strength over time. If you have this coin, you are not holding something ordinary. You are holding a powerful piece of history, a silent treasure, a hidden asset that most people will never even recognize. And now, you need to know how to protect it. Never clean this coin, not even lightly. Those dark layers and green tones are the identity of this coin. Removing them destroys the very thing that makes it valuable. Store it in a controlled, dry environment. Use proper coin holders. Avoid humidity, air exposure, and direct handling. Even the smallest mistake can reduce its value significantly. When searching for coins, always trust your eyes. Look for natural aging, not artificial shine. Real treasure often looks different, not perfect. And understand this one truth: patience builds wealth in this world. Coins like this gain strength over time. The longer they are preserved correctly, the more powerful they become in the market. Some of the greatest discoveries have come from the simplest places: old jars, forgotten boxes, inherited collections. Coins that were ignored for years until someone finally realized what they were holding. This coin is one of those stories, a hidden treasure, moving silently through everyday life, waiting for the right person to see it. Now that person is you. So now you've seen all three. 3 coins hiding in plain sight, carrying unbelievable value, while the world continues to spend them like nothing. The question is no longer, are these coins real? The question is, will you recognize one before it's gone? Because every single day, these treasures are slipping through hands, disappearing into circulation, lost by people who never knew what they had. Don't let that be you. Start checking your coins. Start paying attention. Because your next nickel might not be just a coin. It might be a hidden treasure. And remember, this channel brings you freshly updated rare coin discoveries every single day. So stay tuned, because the next coin we reveal might be even more shocking than this.